going to be dealing with form of 4-12. This is going to be reviewing concepts that were on the test that we just took. Some of y'all really knew the numbers, but you made careless errors. Those are the people that were kind of in the middle. The people that got it. Those I'm not worried about. You'll continue to do it and get it. The ones that didn't get it at all, you don't know the numbers at all. You didn't learn that list. I could tell who knew the numbers and who didn't, who can actually divide by those. And guys, it doesn't mean you have to be able to divide by it in your head. You just have to be willing to type it on a calculator. So let's go through before we do anything else. And at the top, I'm going to move this. At the top of your paper, we need to go through and write out some of the basics that are in the first 15 perfect squares. Now 1 is a perfect square, but it doesn't help us break things down, so it starts with 4 on the list. 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144, what's the next one? 69, 196, and 200 and, do 15 times 15 real quick. 215? Yes? I don't know. 225? I knew it was close. Did I get the 14 times 14 right? Just check the 196. I think that one's right, yeah? Okay. So there's the list of the first 15 that are going to help you. It's 14. 1 doesn't help you. Okay. So from here, we're going to go through and we're going to use those to complete these problems. I concentrated on just the ones that break down and the multiplication, addition, and subtraction. No division in this part. I didn't put any of those on here because I wanted to concentrate on this stuff. So here we go. When you're multiplying, guys, you have got to go through and multiply the numbers underneath. Grab your calculators. What's 6 times 30? 180. Grab your calculators and let's start dividing. We're going to be dividing by numbers that are in here. So we want to break down 180. Start breaking 180 down. What will go into it that's from the nice list? What is it? 36 will? Okay, try it. Do 36. How many times does 36 go into 180? 5 times? Ooh, nice. That makes it easy. Now, do you see that she went for a bigger number first? That bigger number means that you don't have to keep breaking it down over and over and over again. If you do break it down by 4 first or something else first, then you're going to be able to get there eventually. But this one is 36 and 5. So, from here, the square root of 36 is 6. Guys, once you take the square root of something, the symbol goes away. And it's going to be 6 square roots of 5. Again, you're going to be doing problems that are like these, not these, for your corrections. So you're going to have to be able to do this on your own and get this done as corrections. So you should be getting all of this down so that you can fix your test when you get it back. Okay, guys, square root of 108. We're looking for a number from that list that'll go into the square root of 108. Start dividing. What y'all got? 36 again? Oh, look, how easy. 36 and what this time? 3. And the square root of 36 we already learned was 6. So 6 square roots of 3. Now, out of the quiz, or out of the test, that was one of the best ones. Most people got that one right. And number 1 was pretty good. But out of all of them, that one most people got. Don't know why you get that one and not the first one, especially since they divide by the same thing. But most people got number 2. Okay, now when I threw in variables, I had some people get lost there. That was some of people's problem. But they got the 4 and the 3 right. When you break this up, you need numbers for the 12. The number that goes into 12 from your list is going to be 4. 4 times 3 gives you 12. So that's how you break it into a nice number and a not nice number. When you deal with variables, if it has an even power, you put it on the left. If it has an odd, you're going to take the next number down from that number. Since it's to the 3rd power, guys, that next number down that's even would be x to the 2nd. It goes in the nice one. If you have 2 x's over here, that leaves you 1 x to go over here. And then since y is just y to the 1st, does it go on the left side or the right side? The right side. Now, we need the square root of 4x squared. What's the square root of 4? 2. And the square root of x squared, guys, just divide the power by 2, and that'd be x. That's all it is. So we'd rewrite it as 2x, and then the square root of 3xy. Questions, concerns, anything about it? Okay. For this next one, this is just like terms. I was actually impressed. Most people got this one right. This was actually one that went very well. Guys, you've got these two that have a square root of 10. The bigger one's going to go first, the bigger radical. So when you combine -5 and +10, that's going to give you 5 square roots of 10. You don't change the radical when you're adding and subtracting, just like you don't change the variables when you add and subtract. Then you're going to take and combine the other like terms. In this case, the other like terms would be the ones with the square root of 6 on them. What are you really subtracting if it's this? What minus what? 3 minus 1 is exactly correct. So that'd be 2 square roots of 6. Now, the way that I show work on here, if you want to get credit for your corrections, is going to be the way that you have to show work on there. Now, this problem is just combined like terms. There's no work to show. These must be shown in this format. If you show me any other format, I will not give you credit, because I will not give you credit for photo mathing it and trying to do it the way they do it. They don't do it this way, guys. So please make sure you show the math the way that we are doing it on the corrections. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to distribute across. When the number is inside, you multiply it times the number inside. If there's numbers outside, you multiply the numbers on the outside. So we've got a radical 12 and a radical 6. That's going to give you radical, what's 12 times 6, guys? 72. Plus, there is no number outside of the 12 to multiply with that 3, so the 3 just goes on the outside. Then we multiply the 12 times the 3, and 12 times 3 is going to put it at 36. Now, this is kind of unique. Pay attention. Okay. Now 72, I'm just going to do it the way that most people did it. If you see the bigger number that goes into it, wonderful, do it that way. But most people did not see it, and this is where people messed up, so I'm going to show this way. Guys, 72, most people broke it down into 9 and 8. The square root of 9 is 3, which makes it 3 square roots of 8. For the other half of it, the square root of 36 is what? 6. Just 6. Not the square root of 6. Not any, it's just 6. And then 3 times 6 is going to be 18. The only problem is this is how people left their answer. Why is this not the answer? Look at the numbers, guys. Why can't I leave this as an answer? What will go into this? 8. 4 and 2. So you have to keep breaking it down if it will break down any further. The 8 will break down into 4 and 2. Again, this is where some people got lost. The square root of 4 is 2. And then they didn't multiply these together. I got some people wrote 32. I got some people who just wrote 2. People didn't realize to multiply those. When you have a number multiplied by a radical, if you cancel that out and put a number there, you still have to multiply. So 3 times 2 puts it at 6 square roots of 2 plus 18. Now, watch if you want to. As far as like, you can write this down if you would like to. I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to do it the short way. So square root of 72 plus 3 square roots of 36. That's what you get when you distribute it. What else can you break that 72 down in? Did anybody get the big number? 36 and 2. And then the square root of 36 is 6 square roots of 2. For this one, that's going to be 6, which makes it plus 18 plus 18. The final answer is the same. It's just more work if you break it down into smaller numbers first. The problem is people stop at this point and you can't stop here. You've got to keep going down to the final answer. Okay, last one for today is going to be FOIL, guys. If you have two parentheses multiplied with binomials inside, you are going to FOIL. First, if you multiply the first two, the square root of 3 times the square root of 10 is going to be the square root of 30. Lovely weather we've got going. And then the square root of 3 times the square root of 6 is going to be plus the square root of 18. Then we're going to multiply the inner 2, which is going to be minus, because it's a negative times a positive, guys, the square root of 50. And then the last two, it's going to be minus the square root of 30. Minus the square root of 30. Now before we do anything, guys, do you see what happens with two of the radicals? They do what to each other? Cancel each other out. This square root of 30 at the beginning and this square root of 30 at the end cancel each other out. Then you break down the other two radicals. They will break down. The 18 breaks down into the square root of 9 and the square root of 2. Focus, people. Minus the square root of the 50 breaks down into the square root of 25 and the square root of 2. Okay, guys, what's the square root of 9? 3. What's the square root of 25? 5. So that's going to make it 3 square roots of 2 minus 5 square roots of 2. These are now like terms, which means you need to combine them without changing the radical. 3 minus 5 is going to put it at negative 2 square roots of 2. And you know what? More people got that one right than most others that were any kind of longer problem. I was very impressed by that one, just so you know. Okay, guys, put this in your folder in the warm-ups. Make sure you label it really clearly that this is 4-12 because you're going to have to keep these in order, but it's just not an EOC review, so we want to keep it separate. I will be giving back the quizzes and the correction thing. I have to have your test in order to make the ones so that I can mark the problems that you can earn up to half credit for. I have to do that, so I have to keep them until I get that done. Any questions? Okay, guys, put that in your folders. Please go ahead and get to this sheet for the notes today. Let me get this